welcome back to my channel, Healthy with Nicole. I want to show you one of my favorite recipes today. If you are following the ketogenic diet, you know that we are looking at taking in more fats and of course taking out all the sugar and the carbs from our diet. I love this because we just need to remove sugar altogether, but we have sugar cravings, and I know I do, and one of the biggest ones is for chocolate. So I will never give up my chocolate. It has way too many health benefits, but I am going to show you how I make mine that has no sugar and it's super yummy. So really, really easy. I'm going to actually make mine today with cocoa butter. So you can see this is the actual raw cocoa butter that comes from the bean that's pressed out from the actual cacao bean. And some people make their chocolate with coconut oil. I've done that many times. It's great, but it melts instantly. So if you're in a place that's warmer than 75 degrees, you're gonna have liquid chocolate. Not so fun. So this one is gonna be a little bit more stable as the temperature gets warmer. And again, it has a little bit more of that chocolatey flavor because it's actual cocoa butter rather than coconut oil, which has more of the coconutty flavor. So easiest recipe ever. This is what the cocoa butter looks like before we melt it, which by the way, you can put into all kinds of different recipes, but for our purposes, we're doing chocolate. Now, I've already melted the cocoa butter. There's a few chunks in there, but you really want to be careful not to overheat it. It burns really easily. So I usually turn it on the lowest temperature and then turn it off. A double boiler also works really well. So I've got my 3 ounces is what I used in here. So I'm just going to use my little scale here, hit tare, starting over. Okay, and then raw cacao. So don't use the cocoa powder, Dutch process, all that stuff. You want real. I'm using, I like the Bulletproof brand, but any kind of raw cacao, real chocolate powder will do. And I'm going to go and put in about 2 ounces. This is really hard for me to come up with recipes because I never measure anything. All right, there's 2 ounces of chocolate powder or cacao powder and 3 ounces of melted cocoa butter. And so comes the most important part. If we put sugar in here, it's going to completely ruin it. First of all, it's no longer ketogenic when you add sugar. Your sugar is going to drive up your blood sugar, your glucose levels, which increases your insulin, which increases fat storing. So chocolate is actually really good for you. It's the sugar and the milk that goes into chocolate that really makes it unhealthy, and the processing of all that chocolate. So we're taking the raw cacao, adding a non-sugar. I love Swerve. This is my favorite one to do recipes and baking with. And it's measures like sugar, but I'm going to go ahead and take it up to 2 ounces. And you might want to try this on your own first. Adjust it as you need to. Sometimes people have different taste buds. You know, they like it stronger or sweeter. And now you can start to see it's becoming a really thick chocolate. All right, from there, those are basically the essentials. The cacao powder, the cocoa butter base, or you can use coconut oil, and then your sweetener, which I use the Swerve. You can use monk fruit powder. I don't think it tastes as good. And you can use stevia, but again, that has definitely an aftertaste. So this is gonna be my preference. Really thick. By the way, if you're on ketogenic diet, you can make this chocolate really thick and it's like a sauce. We're gonna use this same liquid chocolate later on to make a ketogenic chocolate vegan cheesecake. Crazy good. Okay, now I like to add a little bit of salt. A couple of reasons. Salt is great for your adrenals, and on a ketogenic diet you want more salt because we're losing hydration because we're taking out carbohydrates. So I just put a couple dashes of salt. It also happens to enhance the flavor of the chocolate and the sweetness, and this is very dark chocolate, which is just how I like it. All right, there's definitely some lumps in here, so the back of the spoon is going to help you. We'll just speed that along. Okay, now here comes the other important part. When you're making chocolate, you kind of need a mold. You can use a plastic container, line it if you want to, put it in the freezer, and pop it out if it's flexible. That works. I like these silicone molds. You can get them in different shapes and sizes. They're a couple bucks on Amazon. well worth the price. And then you're just laying it in there. Thick layer. This is going to make a good batch. Probably 2 big fat chocolate bars. This recipe can be made into bark, so with the pieces of nuts and seeds, and super good. I'm going to do a version of that in this chocolate bar. And I'm going to add cacao nibs. So this is the exact same thing as the raw chocolate powder. The only thing is that in its purest form, it's bitter, by the way. And I add this for crunch and also just make it nice and strong. So when you're eating chocolate, you're getting the brain chemicals going, all of the neurotransmitters love this stuff. It gives you a little bit of energy. Theobromine acts on your brain, helps keep you energized, and it has a ton of magnesium, and most people are really deficient in magnesium. So you'll just take this, put it in the freezer, and it's going to get solid in about 10 minutes. Literally pop it out, repeat the process, and this is your base of chocolate. You can take out the cacao nibs and you can put anything you want in here. Sometimes I'll put peppermint essential oil, sometimes shredded coconut, almonds, hemp seed, all kinds of fun stuff, but that is your base for a sugar-free ketogenic chocolate. And if you want to learn more about how to make these and some more great recipes, caring for your body, practicing self-care, subscribe to my channel and visit the website healthywithnicole.com. You can get a copy of my book there and also take part in the 30 Days of Self-Care online program, and I'll teach you how to make this and all kinds of other cool stuff.